Excellent. That's great. Getting back to larger indications, hypertension, potentially Alzheimer's disease is where Alnylam is headed. And I'm curious, Tolga, how you manage that evolution and scale from more, rare disease indications to these, very large indications across the commercial organization. How do you scale that up?
So, I mean, listen, first of all, it's very humbling because to think that you can actually come up with a potential solution of essentially a public health problem that is inflicting pain to millions of people is incredibly rewarding. So I just want you to know, like, this is an area where it gets all of us excited every morning. Now, obviously, it comes with a real challenges because we started in the beginning of our conversation around how complacent we are as humans, how difficult it is to change, and how you need to start looking at it and start telling a very different narrative. So, big part of commercialization actually becomes sort of market readiness. And that requires a lot of resources, a lot of experiences. And frankly, as great as we are as Alnylam, we also need to be humble about what we can do now and maybe what we can actually need to build as a capability. So I know we can do a lot in terms of rare and even in specialty conditions. I think we have the right capabilities, right talent, right infrastructure to be able to commercialize these assets. But actually dealing with a more broader public health problem requires a larger organization and a very different mindset. So this time around with zilebesiran, as you know, we actually chose a partner, and I was a big advocate of doing that, even though it's going to require us to share some of that value. But I see it as the value that we can actually create even bigger, more if we were to go alone. So Roche actually has done a great job in areas like multiple sclerosis, even though that's actually more of a special disease. What we
Right,
liked
CNS
about them,
conditions. Yeah.
exactly. What we liked about them is uh, with Ocrevus, for instance, which is a very different mechanism of action. They completely looked at the sort of the ecosystem very differently. So I think that's what you need in a partner with similar values and similar ambitions and a different mindset that will take us there. So I think that was really important for us from a capability perspective. You talked about scale. Capability perspective, you want to work with a partner that you can actually start building those muscles. So we are actually doing 50-50 in the US,
Oh, you
where
are.
we are a co-promoter, co-partner, and then we're letting them commercialize entire ex-US. But the next opportunity, we want to be able to actually, commercialize it by ourselves because by the time the next large opportunity comes along, I like to think that we've already had built those capabilities that I just shared with you.
I've been told that the 50-50 commercial split was pioneered by Regeneron. Can you confirm or deny that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Regeneron did the deal before Pfizer and BMS did on Eliquis. I can tell you,
Oh, on
Sanofi,
Eliquis, right. Yeah.
yeah,
That was
Sanofi,
a 50-50
that
split.
was a 50-50. Sanofi Cintalabo and BMS, before Sanofi merged with Aventis, they did a 50-50 for their hypertension program. So I don't know if it was really pioneered. It's a very smart strategy, especially if you're, again, early innings of your commercialization.
Great. I wanted to ask about and this may not be important. I don't. It doesn't seem like these laws are going anywhere, but I did notice that a few days ago, Montana, had some sort of preliminary vote on a state law that would ban RNA vaccines entirely for human use. Are you? I mean, there's been some noise, I think, in Idaho, maybe in Texas. None of these laws are close to coming into effect. But I'm curious if it's something that Alnylam is following. And to your point about kind of setting the table for new treatments, education being a key component of that. Is this something that's on your radar or not? Do you think it's just sort of talk?
Yeah. Well, listen, first of all, and first and foremost, uh, we're a very proud American science organization, and our science is based on Nobel Prize winning technology. And this company was founded in 2002, and we've been the pioneers of introducing an entirely new class of medicine. As you know, there's a lot of noise out there, and there's a lot of sort of noise around genetics and RNAi, mRNAi. We're not a vaccine. We're neither a vaccine nor actually an mRNAi, right? We are actually essentially RNAi interference that is actually infrequent, but definitely not a once and done kind of genetic treatment that fits very nicely into the existing ecosystem of how medicine is being treated. Um, and I think once you explain the science and showing the deep safety information we have and thousands of years of patient lives. I mean, we have now already 5 products in the market. And Novartis is obviously expanding the aperture with a hypercholesteremia product, Leqvio, even to many more thousands of patients. We like where we are in terms of our track record. We like where we are in terms of our science and technology. And we believe we need to continue to have that dialogue. If patients are worried about, or the lawmakers are worried about our products, we want to be out there and be able to engage a dialogue and continue to communicate. So look, because we're standing on uh, very firm foundation of our science. We have, I think, 13 or 14 published studies on New England Journal of Medicine and countless other peer-reviewed journals. We stand very firmly on those foundations. Now, it's going to be a question of, are there going to be people that are misunderstanding the science and we need to explain it? I think that's part of the job, Ben, and we're up for it because we believe in what we're here to do and what we're here to provide.
In our last couple of minutes here, Tolga, why don't you share your top priorities for 2025?
Yeah, but look, I mean, what's obviously very close to everyone, I think the whole industry is uh, upcoming launch on our Amvuttra with the cardiomyopathy indication. As you may know, we have a late March PDUFA date for in the US. And then subsequently, we look forward to launching the same indication in Germany and Japan and the rest of the world after the second half of the year. Now, that's an important launch, not just for the obvious reasons, but what will enable us, frankly, is to continue to bring Alnylam at the forefront of biotech innovation. As you pointed out, we have our pipeline is a dream for many. As you pointed out on CNS, we have assets in hypertension and as well as in hematologic disorders. What this launch is going to enable us to do is to actually create the cash flow that will enable us to actually refund these fund these important innovation that we're about to set out to do. So probably I would say 60-70% of my time is really focusing on the Amvuttra launch. And frankly, this is a focus area for us for the last 4 years. So that is I just cannot wait to get out there and communicate the benefits of this incredible medicine. But at the same time, continue to actually focus our organization to make the right bets on the pipeline and get the market also ready for those. Those are my sort of top of mind. In the meantime, we talked about scaling. Look, the way I see it is we're building skyscrapers, not just one skyscraper that's TTR, another skyscraper is the rare, but the many things come in neurological disorders and so forth. What I want to make sure is that the foundation that we're building in the commercial organization can apply to each of those skyscrapers. So that's certain foundational capabilities like AI, how do we actually continue to generate data? How do we actually build those access capabilities like value-based agreements as a consistent capability? How do we actually do omni-channel marketing so that the organization we can focus on real value-based activities and communication on one-on-one, peer-to-peer, where it needs to be, and surround sound it with omni-channel capabilities. These things are no longer pipe dreams, right? These are actually things that we deal with, and I see great practices in our organization across the categories, but I want to actually consolidate that because we're building a generational biotech. And if you want to build a generational biotech, you need to have the right foundations. And so some of my priorities also has a lot to do with that. But first and foremost, obviously, is winning in TTR is going to be a key priority and a key test for the organization.
That is Tolga Tanguler, Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer at Alnylam. I'm Ben Comer, and you've just listened to the Business of Biotech. Find us and subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out new weekly video casts of these conversations every Monday under the Business of Biotech tab at Life Science Leader. We'll see you next week, and thanks for listening. Avantor is a leading life science tools company and global provider of mission-critical products and services to the life sciences and advanced technology industries. Avantor works side by side with customers at every step of the scientific journey to enable breakthroughs in medicine, healthcare, and technology. Avantor's portfolio is used in virtually every stage of the most important research, development, and production activities at more than 300,000 customer locations in 180 countries. For more information, visit avantorsciences.com or find them on LinkedIn, X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook.